Hello, selectors, and welcome to the Life Burst Podcast, where we talk about things that are specifically have to do with Wixoss, and I will never, ever get this intro right.
No, you won't.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody.
Who's this next to me?
Oh, hello. It's Tiffany, the co-host.
On
the Life Burst Podcast.
What do we do?
We talk about Wixoss exclusively.
That's true. So we talk about Wixoss almost exclusively.
What do you mean almost?
Well, sometimes we talk about trains when they go by, the little hype train.
Yeah, the at-hype train.
The at-hype train. Toot-toot.
At-hype train.
Toot-toot. Hey, guys. Welcome to the Life Burst Podcast. We're gonna talk about... Our topic today is nothing. So if you wanted to have a great time with us, well, you came in on the right episode. We're just going to be talking, shooting the breeze.
Yeah, we really just wanted to have like a free chat, free topic kind of thing.
It's like the week before the new set comes out, and I don't think there's any new topics to talk about. So instead, this is a freeform discussion.
Freeform.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off with...
I want to start with question of the day. Put down literally anything you want. This is a freeform discussion. I would like to hear your opinions on literally anything. It doesn't have to be about Wixoss either. Anything you like. And I also do want to give the shout out to our one of the people who did answer the questions of the day last time, the questions of the week, which was Akadilla. And I want to pull that up, but I need to actually pull it up on my phone before I get there. So give me 2 seconds to pull it up. Look at that. You're going to hear me talking for a second. And what did Akadillon say here? I'm so prepped, I know.
Yeah, free discussion, guys.
Yeah, okay. This is what it was. It was he wanted to forgive me for butchering the combo deck I talked about last week, which was the Yu-Gi-Oh combo deck called Magical Scientists.
Oh.
One turn kill. I did not say it correctly, but he also wanted to say that he hated other he hated Control in other games and refused to play it. But Wixoss Control feels so different and much more fun to play with. I think Nova is probably more fun to me than my Bang Dream Team Heresy. And I hate saying that. The only time that I don't have fun with it is against Freeze Tamago because of how unwinnable and slow that matchup is.
It is slow.
It is slow. It is
for sure.
That is the one thing. If you are playing Control and you play against Control and you are losing like in molasses. It's like so slow to lose.
What did you call it?
Molasses.
Molasses.
Yeah, molasses. It's like milk, right?
No, it's not like milk.
It's like a natural element pa.
Oh god. So, Andrew.
Yeah.
How was your Wixoss week?
It was pretty good. We did two parties this week. Duo.
Oh yeah, we did. I always forget that.
And I got second place in one of them, and then didn't do so grand in the other one. And what did you do?
Well, in the first one, I got third. And then in the second one, I don't know. I didn't even bother to check. I didn't get prizes, so I got my promos and I left.
Yeah. It was I think your last one was second or third. It was like tied. So
I don't remember.
We'll call it.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't matter.
It was the sunset show of
Nova.
the set 03, so I played Nova for the last time before I kiss it and give it a Viking's funeral and put it in a ship and then put the ship down.
You're gonna burn your cards?
As much as I like Nova, and I don't know if you know this, I like Nova. It is not a great deck in our testing for the future. It does like a complete 180. It's like fantastic, and then suddenly it's just like, there's just a lot of things that stop it now dead in the water.
Man, Card Jockey did that too, because that's the deck I took to the second game that we did.
Yeah.
And it was really bad. But I also don't know if that's like player error or if it's just it doesn't do so well in this meta anymore.
Yeah, we are in testing now, the testing phase of trying to figure out what we're going to be playing at the ceremony. And it is clear there are some distinct meta shifts that are going to happen in 05, Tiffany. One, I start using Xenocluster is really all I have to say. There's so much more hand control and so much more Ener control than there ever has been in this next set. And turns out Nova, while it can kind of deal with the fact that it can be Ener burned and it's like, sure, I'll just make the game go even longer, it can't deal with Assassin super well. And like X just never ends with Assassin. It's just so much Assassin. And Nova can't really do well against hand control stuff because it sort of needs to refuel the board constantly because its walls can get killed and then it's got to refuel the walls. And it is so easy to start stripping away hands in this next set. Like, aside from just being able to very easily play Random Drain, which even when you're not playing on Uchu's team is still an amazing card. There's a level 2, Bruno, and as much as I don't want to talk about Bruno,
I was waiting for it.
It literally, all it does is attacks, and it strips a card from your opponent's hand. So there's just so much of it now. And Madoka is able to strip cards. There's a lot. There's just a lot. Stripping cards out of hand's easy now.
All right. Womp womp.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a lot of fun. I don't think X is nearly as unbeatable as everyone is proclaiming it to be.
Yeah.
It's actually not as hyper aggro as I thought it would be. It's mostly like spends its first 2 turns Ener screwing your opponent, or I guess color screwing your opponent. And then it just goes all in on the assassin. It's hard to stop. But if you're playing, I think Card Jockey's got a pretty good matchup against it because Card Jockey just goes faster than them.
I mean, we'll see. We've kind of rebuilt the Card Jockey deck a little bit. Like, we switched out a few cards. Definitely decided to put, is it Komei? Though, yeah. We put Komei in there, which is interesting, but I didn't really get how I was supposed to play it, and it didn't come up very often in the deck, so I ended up not really playing it. And then the other thing that we did is we put Silent Assassin in there.
Yeah, I think Silent Assassin's time is over.
It's over.
It's just like...
Well, like, especially in that deck, because it just, like, it doesn't really have a whole lot of team pumping abilities, so you very rarely end up getting, like, at least 2 12s on the field.
Oh, your opponent's out of the field is what you're saying. Because it needs...
No.
It doesn't... You don't need to target your own 12s. You need to target your opponent's. They put it in front of 12s.
Well, that's what lost me the game then, because I thought it had to be your own.
Well, you gotta read them cards close.
I haven't been able to play as much as I've wanted to. It's been just, like, we've just been really, really busy, and I just have not been able to, like, put the reps in.
Yeah, the work has been nuts.
Yeah, and it, like, makes me feel bad. Because then, like, I mess up like that, and, like, I miss Red Lion's, like, once-a-game ability, which was really embarrassing, and that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't do so well. The first, like, meetup tournament, whatever, that we went to go play, I was playing No Limit, which I've played probably at this point more than I've played Lion.
Yeah, totally.
And I was very used to some of the upgrades that we had made to it. So I ended up doing perfectly fine in that one, but, like, I hadn't played Card Jockey in so long, and then we changed the deck, and I know it sounds like I'm making excuses, but what this really is to say is it's frustrating for me when I want to be better at something and just know that I don't have the time to commit as much as I want to something. Like, I just don't have it right now.
Yeah,
it's so frustrating. It's kind of making me, like, dread the ceremony all over again.
Well, hopefully with things clearing up in our schedule a little bit in the future, we'll be able to prep for the ceremony more. Plus, you've got your deck that you're just gonna, and that's sort of like...
I don't even care what the meta is gonna do. That is the deck I'm going to be running, and I honestly don't care how well or how bad I do in it. I just want to play it.
Yeah, and
or odd. I just want to play odd.
That's actually a pretty good thing that you can do. If you don't have a lot of time to put into figuring out how to play against everything or what to play, blah, 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 pick a deck. Mm-hmm. Just pick a deck and become really super familiar with it. I mean, like you said, you haven't played with No Limit in a really long time, right? We took basically 3 weeks off, and then you jumped into with No Limit again, did perfectly fine, because you're like, yep, I just know what these things do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really easy deck to, like, jump into. It's one of the reasons why when we tell people, you know, like, oh, if you want to get into Wixoss, you know, like, No Limit is an easy deck to learn. It doesn't mean it's an easy deck to pilot on, like, win, a high, like, competitive level. You have to be really smart. But it is a really easy deck to, like, get used to, which is nice. And also, if I'm going to be completely honest, outside of, like, you know, like, our schedules being ridiculous, I have been playing a lot of Klonoa Fantasy Reverie, and I will not apologize for it. That's completely off topic. It's not the game that we're going to be talking about, but shout me out down below if you know the game I'm talking about, because if you know, you know.
Yeah, the remaster came out, and that has you actually have finger blisters from how much you've been playing it.
Yeah.
It goes to show.
Listen, that game has a very sharp, like, learning curve. And then the bonus levels are just, they're punishing, man. All of a sudden it turns into, like, the Dark Souls of platformers, which, if we're going to be real, the real Dark Souls of platformers is going to be Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it's just Hollow Knight.
That one's Hollow Knight.
Or Metrovania stuff, right? Like, that's the name for it.
Anyways, those aren't the games.
We said we were talking exclusively about Wixoss.
We also said it was going to be a free chat today, so, you know, error.
Hey, I do want to bring up something that is sort of crazy.
Yeah.
So there's a spell that's getting printed in this next set that I had no clue about, and so it was actually completely off my radar. So when they spoiled it on Facebook, like earlier this week, it like blew my mind.
What's it called?
Which was Rapid Accumulation. It's that wacky level 0, or that wacky 0 color spell, and also has 0 enter cost and does a bunch of weird things. I'll read it out because it's so wacky. Rapid Accumulation. It's a spell. It's colorless. It costs 0, so it's free. As you use the spell, you can exceed 4 as an additional cost. Put one of the following abilities on your center L rig. If you paid the exceed 4 instead, you can pick 2. Choice 1, once a turn, when this L rig attacks, draw a card. Choice 2, once a turn, when this L rig attacks, enter charge. 1. Once a turn, choice 3, when this L rig attacks, put target signy on your opponent's field into the trash. It is so weird.
Let me take another look at that.
It is so weird and so underpowered and so wacky in so many ways. Because basically all the timings and restrictions are awful. Like, it's just strange, right? So you can attack with your L rig to trash a Signy. Now, that's normally really good. You're enter depriving them, but you're also doing it when you attack with the L rig, which is after your Signies have attacked. Therefore, it does not matter. You're not opening a lane for your Signy to attack through. So wacky timing there. I guess you enter deprive them, which could be something. If you're like a discard deck and you're forcing them basically not to have a field, that's an option. The enter charge won't get any of the green Signy benefits because, again, it's happening on your L-Rig attack. So, theoretically, that only helps you cast assist L-Rigs, play assist, grow assist L-Rigs. And then the draw card is at the end of your turn, which means you're not playing with it until your next turn. So, you better have had a fine hand prior to that, you know, because it's happening at the end of your turn.
Yeah, the timing of this is very strange. All I can say is that because of the timing of it, and the fact that you can only do it once a turn, it just feels like all you're doing is you're trying to set up your next turn.
Right.
Which is, maybe I'm just so aggro.
No, you're
or
not.
mid-range
No,
that I just like don't understand like why would I play a spell that's only gonna benefit me in my next half turn?
No. I'd be like, well, I hope I have a guard on top or something, right? Because then it's useful immediately. But it really has no good functionality. But here's the interesting thing: it's super flexible. It has a variety of different options that you can use. And it's colorless, meaning that it can go into, like, literally any Elrig, or any deck possible.
I mean, you also said something really interesting right now. Like, when this Lyric attacks, draw a card, but, like, what if you have a guard on top? But, like, what if you could fix the deck?
Yeah,
right?
So
like, we have stuff like Haket.
Sure.
That you could do that with, and then you already know if you're keeping 2 cards on top of that, and then you play this, you've already fixed your top card, so that's great. And then in your next turn, you know exactly what you're getting, at least for your first draw of your next turn. So that's fine, but like.
Or if you just like have no other way to accelerate your enter, and you just need a little bit of enter acceleration, like you could do this. Yeah. I'm of the mindset that you should always have some amount of exceed in your deck if your deck type allows you to do exceed stuff. Mm-hmm. So for example, with Nova, you don't want to do exceed, right? Because you want to use all of your Elrigs cards that are under it in order to trigger Nova. So you can't use exceed there. But any other deck, you theoretically should try to put some amount of exceed in.
You could still exceed with a diagram or Musica as the center or whatever.
Yeah, totally. You just gotta be careful of it.
Yeah, you just have to be careful. Like, you'll have to fully grow your other assists that you don't care about, and then make sure that Musica's fully grown.
Right.
And then you should be covered.
Yeah, you don't want to nab the level 0 and then do Musica's ability to pop that level 1 back into your Lyric deck and then realize your trio is now a duet. Yeah.
Wait, would you automatically lose the game if you don't have 3 Lyrics?
No, but you would not. You would no longer have a third Elrig.
Oh.
You would have screwed yourself out of the Elrig.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah. I know all diagram players are listening to this and going like, I did it once and I'll never do it again.
And you never do it again. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting card. I am curious to see how people will be running this, if at all. Let us know in the comment section down below if you think this is even like a good card. It might suck. Here's my thought process on it. It's very flexible. I don't know if I don't know. You know, flexibility and power are sort of on the scale where if you lean more into one and less than the other, it still could be powerful, right? But generally speaking, I want to see 2 things in favor of using the card that will then push me into me wanting to use the card. One thing is not usually good enough, right? So, for example, I don't love playing Osagetsune and Dark Energy together unless I have more reasons to do that, right? If my only source of enter charging is Dark Energy, then Osagetsune's going to be unreliable for its thing to trigger. But if I like team pumping and I have some amount of enter charging in the deck, then Osagetsune's a great card to put in the deck. So the question then goes to this card. Where can you find a niche spot where you can find 2 reasons to put this in a deck? And I think Card Jockey has a potential use of it. Now, do not take this, what I'm saying, as like the word over here, because I have not tested it. It's just blindsided me. But theoretically, Card Jockey, being a combo deck, might actually enjoy being a 36-card deck, right? If you look at this as basically being a 0-cost spell that replaces itself, it is nothing but a packet of air. Mm-hmm. But Card Jockey might like that because it's trying to get to certain cards sooner and trying to filter out certain things. Well, also spells in a deck that you're running Endless Punchline in really only benefits you anyways. Correct, and that's number 2. That's the thing. Like, sometimes, I don't mean to interrupt you. No. But you know, sometimes there's been some decks that we've been testing where we're like, why are we even running spells in this? It's just we're just aerating our deck. Yeah, for Ott. I don't know if you don't mind after this little podcast, you can go over to the deck tech I did about the new Ott coming out, and if you look at the deck list for that, you'll see there's no spells in there at all. There's none.
Some originally, but
we tried some, but like it just didn't add anything to the deck, and I think that might be true with a lot of decks actually, where like they're just more Signy centric, so it doesn't really matter that they have spells. But for Card Jockey, it makes sense because a spell counts as 3 attacks if you flip it for an endless punchline. So, not to mention you've got things like Good Dig in there already, and we put in some like Deafening Infernos, which you can also throw in there. So this one actually probably would be a good one for... Probably not for mid-range decks, because like I said, for mid-range, you're trying to maximize every turn, and this does not maximize. It does not maximize the turn that you're on. No. So it's probably going to be good, not for aggro either. It's going to be good for
combo, probably.
For combo.
Right, because you want to have the highest density or the highest chance to hit the certain cards that work well together.
Yeah.
So you could run this, and then the fact that if you flip this off an Endless Punchline, it's a spell, so it might let you cheat a little harder on those ratios, right? The level 1, level 2 ratios, by being like, well, yeah, it's going to be risky, but I could play this and I could get my level 2s next turn, or I can get my level 1s next turn, and I can just get away with running a little bit less of those things. Because it is just a pocket of air. So, I think maybe it could be used there. That's just my initial thoughts on it, but...
Yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'm very interested to hear what everyone will think.
Yeah, it was apparently a promotional card that was made for like a manga in Japan.
Oh.
I haven't really seen it at all do any placements in the Japanese meta, but it also might have just been due to scarcity. So I don't know.
Does Diva Live have a manga? I know that the original Wixoss probably does.
They have some amount of like web comics and mangas. I know that they've done that around-ish. That's, for example, that's one of the reasons why we found out that like Bang came to existence in the Wixoss universe.
Yeah,
not necessarily they programmed her.
Yeah, she's kind of like an ISO. If you guys are Tron fans.
Yeah. Let's talk about Tron, the podcast now. Welcome, programs. Welcome
I'm just trying to connect with my fellow nerds. Excuse me.
Welcome to I/O.
Life versus WeCrossPodcast.io. Just, that's not a real website. Don't go there.
Or it might be, and don't.
No, don't go there. Anyways, what else? What else we got? We've been testing. We got some promos. Oh, what are your thoughts on the promos from the recent ceremony? Like it's the 3 new.
Oh yeah. The new
pieces, or they're not new, but they have new art.
Why couldn't there be a 4th that was what do you call it?
Well, which ones did we get?
Uchu no Hajimaris. We didn't get a Henpai Destruction version.
It is strange that we only got 3 out of like the, was it 4 or 5 teams or something?
And there's going to be an alt art one for the next ceremony, which, oh, by the way, side tangent, they updated the prizes.
Guys,
whatever you guys did worked.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know if that actually had anything to do with us.
Oh, I'm sure it did. One of the big things...
not like us,
but
fellow selectors.
I think the community did it. I honestly do. I think...
I would like to think that as well.
I think we all kind of reached out and were like, yeah, this was very unfulfilling last ceremony. And a lot of people reached out, and I think they were like, okay, fine. And we, for a little while, had an English exclusive piece that was going to be made for this. There's top 8 prizes, there's a couple top 8 prizes, there's top 32 prizes, and there's top 64 prizes.
Yeah, they're finally prizing out 64 again, which is nice.
Which is great. They should keep doing that. So
honestly, that makes sense to me.
I think I'm suddenly reinvigorated for the ceremonies again.
All right. Yeah, we'll give this one a shot. Let us know if you guys are going to be participating in it as well. And if you guys did politely inform them of your opinion and thank you.
Yeah.
And also, like, well done. This is why we voice concerns for games that we really care about. Yeah, so totally. That, you know, we just want them to be better. And I think it's going to be better. Yeah. So, congrats, guys. Mission accomplished.
As far as the arts for the other stuff, right? Okay, so Salvage the Future, way better. That's an easy mark.
Oh, yeah, right? That one's great.
With, like, its graffiti background.
Do we have those?
Yeah, I can pull them out.
All right, yeah, pull them out for me. Yeah, no, I remember that one specifically being really cool because it's got all of, like, the names of everybody, right? Hold on.
Yeah.
It's got, like, the so cute. Names. Look at this. I am actually kind of disappointed they didn't do that with the rest of them. Yeah. Like, in their style.
Like, Card Jockeys, I think, is maybe a minor improvement, though I do miss the disco ball.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why hip-hop's got the disco ball, but I'll take it. Sure.
I mean, you know.
What do you think they go, like, it's time for endless punchline, and then, like, a disco ball comes down, it's like, whoop, whoop.
Well, whoop, whoop. I don't think that happens at all, because that's really not what happens in the anime, so no.
I hope that happens for Ancient Surprise.
Yeah, you know, I do think that this one's cute for Endless. It's the one that I ran the other day, and...
It's shiny.
Yeah, it's shiny. Like, why not? It's kind of fun. Can I just...
Sure, do it. Yes. You don't like Glory Grow?
I don't like the new art for Glory Grow. I'm so sorry. I'm not saying it's bad.
I think it's cultured.
No.
It's got Sakura blossoms on it, right?
Well, yeah.
So...
Why are they there?
Spring. Oh, okay. Real talk here. The Sakura blossoms on that, as well as the, if you noticed, the Arcgwain, the Congratulations Arcgwain
she also has
Sakura
that.
Blossoms. It was because it was for, like
spring
one of their
ceremony?
cherry tree festivals. Yeah.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, that does make a little bit more sense to me now. It's just, for me, I was like, they have no, like, Sakura... like, motifs in their team at all. Like, if they did, I'd be a little bit more like, oh, okay. And then the Arcgwain one, like, really threw me off, because I was like, what? Why? But, like, now that you're saying, well, it's because it was, like, part of the spring ceremony, I was like, okay.
There's a new Arcgwain alt art coming out for, I think, the box toppers for the next set, the Vertex Diva set. Mm-hmm. That's gonna be a fun, interesting one.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about the box toppers because...
Go ahead. Here's the soapbox. Hold on, let me put it down. There's your soapbox.
All right, thank you. Hold on. All right, I'm on top of my soapbox.
God, we wish we had a job as a Foley artist. Like, oh, let me pull out the sand pit.
Yeah, like... To the Life First podcast, a Foley art podcast.
A Foley artist.
Anyways.
What is it called? The Wilhelm scream? Welcome to the Foley artist podcast. We're Wilhelm.
We are Wilhelm. Anyways. So there's going to be box toppers coming out for the next set. And I am excited. For a lot of reasons. I think that they're a lot of fun. But I am most excited for the Ott box topper, which is her being super cute Ott with her little trumpet, and then behind her it says toot toot.
That is okay. So some of you have not played Tiffany in real life. But she's a big fan of not saying open.
Sorry about my mic.
It's evolved, right? Like, she would get angry at people when they wouldn't say open in front of her when we start a tool. Now it's evolved into whatever needs to be said at that moment, as long as it's said. And so she's a big fan of the Christmas promos.
For No Limit.
Yeah, so often you open up and what do you say?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you just want your opponent to have a good
jingle,
jingle. So I can only wait until you open up Ancient Surprise and you just look at the person dead in their eyes because you get a serious game face.
Do I?
You do. And you go, toot toot.
Toot toot.
And you're like threatening them with the toot toot.
Insert chaos jazz OST. No, I'm really excited about that one. I think it's gonna be really, really cute, super cool. If you guys haven't seen the other box toppers, where can they find images of those? Were there like spoilers somewhere?
Yeah, I think they're spoilers technically, but we've cheated. And shout out to Eden from the EU. He showed us what they got. They got their allocations before we did. So he opened up some boxes and showed us it. And that's where we found out about rapid accumulation like before it was on Facebook. I was like, wait, what is this card? I was like totally blown out by it.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Which, by the way, I know we're not in October yet, but come on, there better be Halloween promos.
I don't think you're gonna get them.
It matters so much to me specifically. I've been sending Tomi emails every day.
No, you have not. Do not lie to the selectors. Very rude.
Gosh.
Also, I'm really sorry if our audio is a little bit blown out. We're clearly having a good time. I hope you are too.
Yeah,
if you are, please subscribe.
So
you've been personally sending
letters
begging for
to Japan
Halloween promos
every day
for America.
$14 from USPS, but it's $52 at if you do it through FedEx. So
you're saying you've been
every day spending $52. We have to
sending
talk about
physical letters.
We have to talk about my spending. I know this is an off podcast. Stop it.
Yeah, we're gonna. Well, weren't there Halloween promos in Japan?
There was
were they for Diva?
2018, and they weren't Diva.
But you can still use them.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, you won't get any of the recent teams.
Yeah, for Tama and stuff. But eventually, I need to get them. But they're in Japan.
They are very cute.
They're locked behind literally a sea. So it's more difficult.
A sea and some country,
if any of
depending
you are from
on where
Japan,
you're flying from.
Please message me and let me know if you have any of those.
Yeah, let's get connected.
I will set up a PO box just for that.
I'm still looking for those oodle sleeves, and I will not stop.
You missed your chance. They're gone.
I know, I really did. They were on eBay for like $35.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about sleeves?
Sure, let's talk about sleeves.
One, this is your chance to publicly shame for me for how disgusting my Nova sleeves were at the end of it. They were a literal biohazard by the end of that. I have played that deck to death, and I was like, yep, it's time
for those of you that aren't aware, or if you are new to... This was news to me. I don't even remember if we've talked about this on the podcast before. This was news to me because I hadn't spent a lot of time playing a TCG. Your card sleeves will get disgusting if you play that deck a lot. It will be so gross. Yeah. It will pick up so much just crud and oils from your hands and whatever tables you're on, and whenever somebody else picks up your card to read it. Yeah, it's oh my god, it's nasty. So yeah, well, especially because you were using black sleeves too. Yeah. It was really showing up.
They specifically showed when I took off the cards and finally changed them out.
So bad.
And it was like oh, part of me there's at least one finger divided through all of these three.
I apologize if this is grossing any of you out, but you have to know the truth.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of when a guy is my underwear is still fine, right? And it's
what?
three years later, full of holes.
Andrew,
it's time to go.
Don't talk about that.
It's time to go.
It's time to go. Anyways.
But the real thing I wanted to say about the sleeves, outside of public shaming me, because I know I needed that.
Okay, you're welcome.
Is you...
Oh my god.
You went from sleeves are okay, to now being I have all of the cute sleeves.
I just like cute sleeves, okay? where's our hold on, Where's our diagram deck? Where is it? Oh, okay.
It's the deck that says diagram on it.
Hold on, because I gotta read these card sleeves. Because the ones that I sleeved up for my diagram deck are probably my favorite ones. Mm-hmm. So I want to read you guys the title of this anime I've never watched, so you guys can look up the ones I'm talking about. It's from Bang Dream Project Poppin' Party.
Yeah.
I've talked about these before. I know I have, because they're so cool looking. But like, what got me started were the oh my god, the main character from Dragon Maid. Oh, Toru. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Don't come for me, okay? My brain is dead. That's the one that got me started, was finding Toru sleeves, and I was like, oh no. I actually found sleeves that I like. And then I found these, and I was like, oh, these are my competition sleeves, because they're really cool. So, and then I did find another sleeve the other day. I forget what it was. It was from the anime Is the Order a Rabbit, which I'd never heard of before. It's supposedly a really cute, like, cafe, whatever slice of life. Anyways, but, you know, I just, like, it was really cute. And also, like, not borderline inappropriate, which is important to me as well.
Yeah.
So.
Meanwhile, I looked at all of these cute sleeves and then, like, constantly, like, one day I'll find some cute sleeves. And then just bought a color of Dragon Shields. Because, like, that's just me. I like having my white decks in a yellow or white sleeve and my black decks in, like, a black or gray sleeve. Like, it just...
You like to color code.
I like color identity.
Clearly. But, yeah, and here's the thing. We're still monsters, despite us talking about this.
Absolutely.
Because we do not use sleeve covers.
No.
So, I'm like dreading the day that my beautiful Poppin' Party Bang Dream and Toru sleeves are going to get gross. Which is actually why I told you after you were, like, de-sleeving your crud, that I was like, where is my diagram deck? Where is my card jockey deck? I'm de-sleeving these. I'm putting them away. They will not be used until, like, I have, like, a competition deck and a casual deck that I play. And those are and that's it. We're not going to be doing that. But also the other thing, I have a theory, actually. Because these, I mean, I know that I haven't played these, like, nearly as much as the other decks have been played. I have a theory that matte sleeves will get nastier faster than the glossy sleeves, because there's less surface area for stuff to cling to.
Right.
So if you're a glossy sleeve person like me, because you like a slippy deck and you like to see holographic stuff, you might have a little bit of a better, like, anti-crud situation.
I will crush your dream immediately.
No, do not do that.
They all get disgusting after a certain amount of time.
No, Toru.
They all do.
No.
But, yeah.
That's our rant on sleeves.
Yeah, I just, that's one of the reasons why I, like, always buy the $7 sleeves that are colored, because, like, I'm like, alright, well, I'm testing something out this week, it needs to be in this deck, cool, it's color-coded. We have a pile, again, our gauntlet is just a pile of decks that have proxies printed out on them.
Yeah.
And, like, at some point they will get gross, and I will have to throw them away, and I want the cheapest option to replace them, because sleeves don't last long. No matter how pretty they are.
Not in this house. Alright. Yep, that's our rant on sleeves. And the other half of it is that I think they come in packs of, like...
100 now.
Like, either, I think it's, like, 60 to 100 or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's, like, even the pretty sleeves do that. So, like, when some of them inevitably get nasty, I still have a little bit, like, left over that I can kind of...
a little bit of extra shelf
cycle
life.
in. Yeah. Alright. Is there anything else you want to talk about today?
No, I think that covers all the topics I wanted to cover, which was, who knows?
Which was just, we just wanted to chat with you guys, like, sit down, have a little have a little get-together, a little casual chat.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
We'll
probably
play.
do this again at some point. Any of the random things that you comment down here will maybe be subjects that we talk about on the next time we do this.
Yeah.
Whatever month from now.
Sometimes you need, like, a mini bits episode where, like, none of the things that we've talked about today would make, like, a full episode. So we just wanted to sit down and chat about them.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe if there is one last thing I'd like to talk about. What if we made a podcast about podcast openings, right? Like, that was it, right? We've already practiced so much with the Tron podcast and the Foley Artist podcast, and then this morning when we did the normal podcast opening, we just do openings constantly, over and over again. I feel like that. What's that one British podcast that you listen to where they're like, the one guy's like, "It's you and me over and over again."
You're talking about Stellar Firma.
Stellar
Firma. Yeah, that's by Rusty Quill. I love their podcasts.
Yeah, the fact that one of them has such supreme chaos energy.
It is impressive.
Every time I think about it, I'm like, yeah, that's the ways that I try to annoy you with.
We're not making a podcast about just podcast openings.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Can we make a podcast about podcast closings?
No, there's only one.
And what is that one?
Thank you guys so much for listening, selectors. We will see you guys next time in the next podcast. In the meantime, may you always flip a life burst.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.